Welcome to the Aro Benaiah Show, where we uncover the real stories of local entrepreneurs and hands-on business leaders who are building success from the ground up. Today's guest is someone who has shown that true look resilience and innovation look like, and even in most difficult time. Joining me today is Alexandra, trapping its over 37,000 users during the war in Ukraine. Alexandra journeys from QA tester to tech founders and leadership coach is a master class in adaptability and courage. Yeah, once again, it's really a pleasure having you on the show. Once again, it's a lovely having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, that's cool.
So what was it like growing up, Alex?
So, to grow up here in...
Yeah, I discovered over time that most entrepreneurs, before they actually more like came into what they do, or some traits are actually more like revealing that they're going to be an entrepreneur during their course of their life. So I just want to know, how was it for you while you were growing up? Were there this earlier influence that talk about entrepreneurship, or just
Oh,
from those basis?
oh, that's a interesting question because, it was a difficult time to grow up in Ukraine. Like, I cannot compare to Nigeria because I haven't been there, but this place, after the Soviet Union fell down, it was a mess. It was a lot of people just, killing each other on the streets. So, and a lot of drug addicts. My father was an alcoholic. So it was difficult time. I needed to kind of grow up faster than some other kids.
Yeah.
So I needed to have money, early to help my mother, to help my family, and to help myself. If I wanted to buy something for myself, like cigarettes, even I needed to spend my own, money. So it was tough. But if I think if I'm thinking about the entrepreneurship, I started earlier. My father was a sailor, and he was bringing some, bubble gum from other countries, so some stuff from other countries, which was very unique because we have only few cities that are near the sea with the ports and etc. So, and he was bringing jeans, bubble gum, sweets, and I was bringing those sweets and bubble gum to the school and selling them one by one because he was giving me a pack and said I bought it for such amount of money. You can sell it one by one and then you will get more of that. And I was like, okay. So
I mean,
no, I didn't want sweets. I just wanted money for other ideas that I want. I wanted toys. I wanted everything else except sweets.
wow.
It was cool. Really, it was my first experience as an entrepreneur. And I think that it worked well because after uh, many years of studying, of searching the roles of working in other companies, I founded my own startup and I won a couple of hackathons before, winning money. And I was thinking in different direction because many of my friends, they were like, okay, I need to get a job and work from 8 to 6 or to 5 and go home and that's it. But I was always thinking about building something that is meaningful, that have a lot of sense, and that will bring a lot of money. So it's something global. So yeah, I guess
Wow.
that's the main point.
Yeah, yes, amazing, amazing, amazing. So let's start with your journey from QA tester to founder of T Travel. What inspired you to take the leap?
Yeah, I was always curious about how the things work. For example, if I was checking out the application or a CRM system or I don't know, any type of videotape recorder, I was guitar, for example. I was curious about how it works, what parts are, in there, how they interconnected. So digging for details and digging for settings, how it all set it up. And I wanted to first to understand like setup of like IT companies, like products, and I've started to understand, how to test things, how to test them from back end, from front end, what is auto testing, what's test harness, for example. Then I've started to like thinking I know a lot about systems of, like in terms of a software. What else is there? There is a like people system, what I call the people system. It's like organizational design and like developers, QAs, system architects, designers, and how they are interconnecting, how they are communicating. And this is also a system. When I started to dig into there and started to be like a coach, a scrum master, a manager for the people. And while I was, switching the roles and switching the companies, I understood more and more about like the world of tech, say, what technologies are there, what are like the main trends, how it's built inside and outside. And after I won a couple of hackathons, I've tested out it with a couple of friends, and I felt this dynamic, how it can be built. So I decided to create my own startup, and it wasn't from anywhere, because like my co-founder Artem and we was doing small projects from my 16, I would say, as like also from teenage years, but it was starting like short movies about zombies, type of projects that are not related to IT anyhow.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and it was like kind of a synergy between us in terms of like brainstorming ideas. So when I was working in like in Poland, I was sometimes some time ago I was working in Poland, in Europe, and sometime in London. I was traveling a lot. And we made a YouTube channel that is called hashtag bez viz. It's like visa without visas, if you will translate it. So we had an audience there who ask a lot of questions, like where to go, how to go, what do you suggest in terms of destination. And I've decided that it will be our initial audience, initial kind of user base that will give us traction. So we got our first prototype that was tested on this audience of YouTube channel, and we got a like very positive response and continued to develop on that, like iterate and develop our mobile solution after we got this initial traction and this feedback. So yeah, I guess that long
Yeah.
long leap was made,
Yeah.
step.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. So what were some of the mistake or lessons that shape how you lead today?
I think that, I have one rule for the people who I'm hiring or who I'm on board with. I would say it's like to be open always in communication. It's like any type of like developer, designer, or like co-founder is hiding something, like sitting in the dark and doing their own
Yeah.
thing. Maybe doing the right thing, but not communicating in a proper way with us. It's keeping us like blind, and we cannot operate with like specific data. We cannot review our strategy. We cannot respond on challenges that our competitors bring to us, I would say. So it's like when our setup is fully like online and we are working remotely. So if the person is not communicating what he or she is doing, what kind of blockers they have, like if they need help, what kind of help they need. It's like for us, it's not the proper people. It's the people that cannot work, cannot know even on practice and do the teamwork. So it's extremely like painful and a big risk for any company, I would say, because like I don't mind any individuals that are working by themselves as an entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs, and they are not kind of connected to anyone. They're just doing their own schedule and delivering their own stuff when they want. But if you're working in a team, you need to be like vocal. You need to be open and always reaching out to new people, like helping each other, bringing and each other, even mood of each other, uplifting each other, motivating each other. So it will be a lot more easier to work in such team and be on such ship, I would say, when the team is active and motivating each other. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I think openness is very key, especially when you're working with team, and communication has to be. They have to get every single thing about communication, so that it won't be you are thinking one thing, your team is thinking another thing. At the end of the day, the goal is not going to be achieved right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really amazing. So you have written 12 lessons for 12 years. What is one lesson that every entrepreneur needs to learn early?
I would say that the main lesson that is it's not a sprint, it's a marathon for every entrepreneur. Even if you run out of money, you still can run on your energy, and you can negotiate with people, like giving them equities, for example, but you still can run your startup, for example, or you still can run your business, even if you stay alone. And the most important thing is your energy. If you're constantly trying to sprint, without taking any like breaths, without any, like, I would say vacation, but it's like day of, like, a slow day, when you're just doing nothing, it can burn you very fast. And like, every business is held on the shoulders of a founder. So if your energy is low, the business will be, struggling. So you need to take care of yourself. Don't be harsh to yourself.
Yeah.
uh don't be a critic, the main critic for yourself. There will be critics everywhere, and they will tell you that you're doing wrong, not that thing, and etc. But you are the person who can motivate yourself and who can care of yourself the most. So care about yourself as long as you can, for a long period of time, and then you will have even like 2, 3 business projects or pet projects, or like anything you want. When you have a lot of energy, when you have a clear mind and like motivation to do things. So yeah, that's main lesson, I would say.
Wow, wow, amazing, amazing. Thanks for sharing that. So, this particular question I actually want to ask. So, starting a business during the war sound unimaginable. What was the biggest mental and emotional challenge you face?
We are still facing. It's like, even to sometimes it's even struggle to show yourself around, right? To open the laptop, like starting to type something, because it was a sleepless night of missiles, near your home, or like to your neighborhood. So, or like, for me, it was like, luckily, I had only one like incident, that, like, it was my car that was wrecked. So anyone else was like injured, and I'm happy about that. And like, I need to stay focused and still like be mentally stable, appreciating every day of the life, when I'm waking up and I'm good, and all my relatives are not injured. It's like, even the sleepless night should come to an end, and you you need to show yourself at work. So even if you put in like 5% of your kind of productivity or performance, or 1% of your performance, it's still more than zero. Mentally, it's challenging, but we are still bringing as much as we can. So yeah, it's still struggling. Now we have outages of electricity, so like a lot of time we are just without internet, like things that we are used to. And like missiles are coming to us every day, so we're kind of used to that.
Oh, this is really, really a lot. And wow, it's well. Okay, I think, but the lessons you actually more like put out despite those particular things still show up, and It's really amazing being that, yeah, you just have to survive in the meantime. Wow, with time you get to figure out how things could be done differently. And this is really amazing. So how did you build trust and culture in a remote distributed team, especially under pressure?
I think that it's all about human approach. I would say that, mm, and I mean human approach. It's like empathy because I'm always trying to listen first and to understand in which context the people or the person inside. If it's someone from Ukraine or like from Nigeria, for example, but it's more like a bit peaceful place, for example, right? Where you are like in a different city and you have time to think, like you have your slow thinking. You have, you know, we can talk about goals, future. We can, set the strict priorities. We can do it like in a very intense mode, like I would say this coaching and everything. But if the person, I see that the person is tired, for example, or like saying that some kind of mess around, I can understand what is happening and I failed this task or etc. So I'm always trying to dig into like, okay, yeah, that's not the end of the world here. What do you need to get more like energy to get back on track? Maybe you need like external hour or something, or just to take a shower, and it will help you, and it will be more like productive than we are talking for like 1 hour, for example, because you'll just, you'll just have this proper natural kind of uplift of energy. And yeah, it can be also a technique. So I'm telling, yeah, so go get a shower. It will be all, and
Yeah, amazing.
come again, and we will think what to do next, when you will have the like proper mood. And yeah, people appreciate it. It's always, about them, and some, active listening and empathy.
Now that is really, really lovely. The fact that it's flexible and yeah, you love to listen to them and propose some just more like exclude them for a while. Why they actually get a refreshing of and come back again. It's really
Yeah.
pretty amazing. So you bootstrap T-Travel without external funding. How did you manage cash flow and growth strategically?
So, like, our main thing that we didn't want to be influenced by like external like stakeholders, investors, VC funds, etc. too early in terms of our strategy and vision. So it's like, okay, they will on a very early stage, they will give us money, but they will own the vision and we will be just again just an
Yeah,
execution. But if you were just execution, we can go to other company and work for money and will not be like founders or owners or entrepreneurs. So it's it, it's very hard to feel yourself right, when
yeah,
when you're when you're in such kind of in such a connection, in such a under such a pressure. So we decided that we will use initial traction. As I said, we had this one. We launched our app after the prototype. Launched our app at 2021, and it started to show itself as a like good thing with a lot of users coming, and they started to pay. They started to buy itineraries. They just like bought something, more and more and more. We like invested. We felt that like feedback that we had, we can reinvest money that we have from our different jobs to our startup to boost this traction instead of kind of like be under pressure of like investors. We decided to go step by step, but use our own money, and basically like control our capacity, like our availability, and sometimes working additional hours as a like for me as a coach for other company to get money to reinvest in the startup. So it was better thing because we learned how to properly use even small amount of finance, even small budgets, and to understand which kind of marketing campaigns are working for us, which are not working, with a small experiments, instead of just burning money in meta ads or something. Because like many of our competitors, in order to blitz scale, they like want he just burned a lot of money from investors, like 2-3 millions on the marketing, and then they be profitable, and then someone bought them, so they just not exist anymore. And we are still here, and we are doing it step by step, with the less, I would say, with the less like MRR, ARR, and revenue, but it's profitable for us to take it,
Wow.
to have it, to
Wow, amazing.
kind of drive it through. And if we would pick another strategy, like to be a monopolist, we just needed to be in other country, talk with different VC funds, and kind of like agree on different strategy with my co-founders. But we like negotiated that we care about our vision, about product, and we don't want to kind of like just the blitz scale to sell it out and to forget about it. We want to drive our own vision. So,
Wow, that's pretty really amazing. The fact that you're able to manage the resources, right? And yeah, and the vision to being that bootstrapping most times make you just being the executor, not the visionary. But the fact that you retain the both of them so that you can keep running and keep working on it and it's still existing. That is the amazing part. So what is the hardest part of bootstrapping that people don't talk about?
that really sometimes you need to have another job. That sometimes you need to have like resources to put in somehow, and like still like, okay, bootstrapping sounds good, but either you need to be like a professional in, I don't know, in 7, 8, 9 different domains, like have this very broad expertise and build it for years, because it's by yourself. Or you need to put in some money, like skin in the game, as people say, and hire experts, at least on a part-time, and you need to manage those part-timers. Or like in our case, we had part-timers, full-timers, with managers, without manager. No, like I would say managers that want that are like interns, that want to uh, have their own like a project in the portfolio. Partnership with like with edutech products, when like some course of content creators that are only learning to make it, to make a content, like, or media buyers, they build a strategy, they are doing some stuff for us because we give them like experience, and they have this portfolio, and still you need your time to manage them because they don't know anything, and like you need to communicate with their mentors how to properly do that. So it's like bootstrapping, it's about like making use of every small thing that no one will think about using. Like you need to like, okay, like this is not a stick, this is a piece of chalk. What can I do with that? Can I put it here somehow? Can I write it down that will be useful? It will be useful for our startup. No, like fuck it. Sorry. But yeah, it's like only you need to be not only like have like broad expertise, you need always seek for opportunities and filter them. A lot of opportunities and filter them. And that's how you bootstrap. You cannot just, I need a chief marketing officer, so I will just write a check for $5,000, hire someone from the market, and they will do all this stuff. You cannot do that, because you first you need to understand the process, then you need to understand the market, who you hire, why you hire, on which process can it be automated. in our
Yeah.
universe, right? Of AI agents. Can I do it by myself? Can my co-founder do that? Or like, can we do it together? What kind of what amount of time do we need to understand this flow? Always, juggling priorities plus opportunities plus seeking for new opportunities plus people plus learning something new. So, I don't know if people talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do.
It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot, and the fact that when you make reference of side projects coming along, part time, full
Um,
time, intern, I think it just speaks volumes to or to every founders who have an idea of how to actually go about their business. Sometimes I think retaining what they do, let's say like a job, why is to figuring out how to actually build what they are looking forward to as a side project. Think is very, very key so that that can be sustaining them for a while
mhm,
while they are building on that particular project until it has more like a level to be able to kind of pay them off
mhm,
before they could actually pull out from their business. Other than pulling out and discover that it's a lot to actually grow this particular stuff.
mhm.
That's very, very key.
Yeah.
So what role has transparency, your built-in public approach approach play in your success?
I would say that it helped me, as I said, to filter the opportunities. People and opportunities and partnership, they came because they knew the brand, they know what it's to travel, and they've seen that I'm building it. They've just, knocking in LinkedIn or email, and I didn't know that it's possible. I didn't know that our small startup will be more lovable and people will be more excited to join us than top companies, for example, in Ukraine, that are providing IT services for many, many years, but it's an outsource, for example, companies. So it's not a product companies. It's just service. But really some developers, some QAs, designers, some business analytics were just knocking to our doors while we were creating a post. For example, we had such a problems. We are struggling with such case, and that's why we were behind the schedule, and we were just knocking on the door. Hey, I'm business analyst. I love your brand. I love to travel. It excites me. Can I join? Of course, let's talk, if you want. Of course, what can we give you? How can we help you, Is it some money? Is it some experience? Is it some, pleasure of work? Well, some ideas that you want to deliver, or some challenges you want to, tackle? And people are, yeah, I want this. So we are negotiating, and let's go. So yeah,
Yeah.
helping a lot.
Mm.
A lot people just um, people are coming to people, when they think that they know you, they've seen you, you're more trustable than just some companies. They are coming.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So what is the principle from agile or system thinking that blue collars or trade P persons owner could actually apply today?
I think that nothing new with agile didn't happen last 20 years. And I mean, not in terms of kind of frameworks, like scaled frameworks or other. Yeah, those are, they on the path of evolution. They're getting better, getting more in more depth or more details. But we still have Agile Manifest that is written in very simple words, and it's collaboration, instead of contract negotiation. Yeah, it's written after the main statements. It's written that we will value more those to the left than those to the right. So we do not just we do not want to discourage you to use tools, documentation, etc., but we value more customer collaboration, individual interaction, etc. So things that are written in Agile Manifest is a baseline for any company, any type of worker. If you follow those principles, you're basically already a bit of a kind of entrepreneur, right? because entrepreneur is person who communicate, collaborate, who kind of doing this partnerships, doing things together with people, gathering around ideas, open, honest, and it's just principle when you're uh, an interesting and kind of a proactive person, and you're following those principles, and doesn't matter what kind of expertise you have like now. If you can follow those principles, you'll be progressing, you will be evolving more and more and more. So it's kind of a lesson from agile that you can
Yeah.
take, read once again agile manifest and implement or integrate those principles in your life, and everything will be great. You will be always one step ahead, and want to just be in a box.
To Alex. So you have coached many teams. What's one behavior or mindset shift that separates surviving leaders from thriving ones?
I think that in terms of the leadership, yeah, it's like currently it's a mix of many models, and expectation from leadership is very high. So the bar is very high. To people want to see an expert, but an expert who sees other people, who doesn't want to like be the loudest voice in the room, just want to help others to be, more experienced. So, like, leader is guiding, is mentoring, is helping without kind of cutting the wings of employer. And everyone wants to follow the leader. If this person also have a vision, of future that is pretty bright and interesting and kind of about maybe technology, some innovation, it gets on another level, better level of leaderships. You're not cutting the wings of your people and talking with them equally, understanding their flaws and like pluses, like expertise in which they're experts, like even sometimes asking for advice, just negotiating about plans. So, like interacting with them equally and sharing the vision that you have about future. So it will be inspiring, like most of the people that you have and most of the people that because like I don't remember who said that, but like it's an old saying that people doesn't leave jobs because it's not like interesting, etc. People leave jobs because of other people. So it's like their manager, they will leave faster than if they will have like very stupid job, I would say.
Yeah, so true, so true. I think leader learning how to communicate and helping their team is very key,
Hmm.
and not micromanaging them
Yeah.
without helping them.
From
And from what you just said, yeah, it just speaks volumes that at the end of the day, most persons will leave most job uh not because of they don't like the job. Some of them leave owing to the leader, and it just speaks volumes to everything rise and fall on leadership. And we must get leadership right if we are going to get everything right. So, Alex, how can my audience learn more about you? How can they do business with you? And what is the best platform to do this?
you mean hackathons, right? So I don't know about Nigeria, just because I know a lot of stuff about like what's happening in Ukraine, and I'm seeking always like what's happening in Europe. So there are opportunities and a lot of online hackathons that are just making they are made up by government, like or companies like Google, like Meta. They always announce such things, and it's I think that it's pretty easy to Google it, like hackathons or list of like the best hackathons, or just chat GPT it, like what's the
Yeah,
list of best hackathons like in this year and like next year, or you may just refer to this year and understand if it's requiring, and it will be an opportunity next year. So it's kind of you need to search for your specific location, but I'm pretty sure that the big companies and large techno giants, they announce it and like provide these opportunities online, like even without
all right.
live in your place.
Yeah, thank you, Alexandra. It's your stories is powerful reminder that leadership isn't about comfort. It's about clarity and courage. From bootstrapping through crisis to building a thriving community. The journey is one that every entrepreneur can learn from. And our listener who want to follow your work on your heights, you can actually connect with you on LinkedIn and check out T Travel to see what next is in your journey. Yeah, thank you for joining us on the Aro Benaiah Show. And to everyone listening, resilience is a skill you can build, not a grit you can be given. Keep building, and once again, it's really a pleasure and an honor having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Aro. It was a pleasure.